prices go up. But initially, factor prices won't change. The price of oil goes up because the economy expands, right? The price of wages goes up. So then wages go up. So in the short run, factor prices, for your purposes, oil, and particularly wages, are fixed, okay? Now, then we have short-run aggregate supply, and it looks like this. When I do this with equations, I'll use linear short-run aggregate supply. When I ask you to draw this, I don't want to see linear aggregate supply, short-run aggregate supply. It looks like this. Say something like that, okay, everybody? This is short-run aggregate supply, and a key element of it to note is that it's for a given wage rate or given factor prices. Now, and what is short-run aggregate supply? It's the amount that a firm will produce at a given price. So we have here, at this price, firms would produce this amount. At this price, they would produce this amount. At this price, they would produce this amount. Everybody? Okay? So, now, here's a very simple question. You know, but you definitely do need to have your arm chopped off if you don't know the answer to this, but you won't. It turns out short-run aggregate supply is shaped like that for the very same reason that short-run supply is positively sloped in micro. So I'm going to ask you, why is the short-run supply curve positively sloped in micro? How many know the answer? If you don't know the answer, you need to be seriously embarrassed. Why is the short-run function positively sloped in micro? Besides the fact that I gave you the answer in the way that I gave the question. How?
Because marginal cost is increasing.
Because one of the...
Marginal cost is increasing.
Okay, everybody, he's helped you out. Marginal cost is increasing. Yes. But then you've got to go further. Why is marginal cost increasing? Well, yes.
Because marginal revenue increases.
Because marginal cost is going up because...
Capital's fixed in the short term.
He jumped one, that's it. It's because capital's fixed. Because capital's fixed, marginal product falls. Because marginal product falls, marginal cost rises eventually. Therefore, supply is upward sloping. And this is the same here. This happens because there's a given amount of capital, and you know the capital can change, but at this moment there's a given amount of capital. And like we can change, but in fact we can change the long run, but at the moment we've got a given capital. And as you increase your output, your marginal costs go up, your supply cost goes up because your productivity goes down, and as you fill up the factory. Now, because I think I told you guys this example for me, like when I was your age. I remember one summer, it was like a summer like this. For about 3 months, I was a welder in a metal fabricating place, and there was about 100 spots there with these different welding machines and stuff, and everybody had about an area like this, and there was like aisles and stuff, and you brought your steel in and you welded it up and you moved it out. Now it turns out, if you think about this, here's the company. They get an order. The place is half full. There's only half the workers there. There's lots of space. They get an order to increase output by 10%, from 50 to 10%. So they have to hire another 10 workers. They got 50 workers already, and there's room for 40 more workers. Guess what? Productivity doesn't go down very much. Very little. Because basically, nobody's really interfering with each other. There's still room in the aisles. You're not bumping into other people. You're not welding in their faces. You're not fighting over amounts of steel. So there, if there's significant unemployment, the factory can increase production without much decrease in marginal cost, much increase in marginal cost, because there's not much decrease in marginal product. Now, no, it's not because as you increase output, the wage rate goes up, because it's fixed. This is this way because marginal product falls and marginal cost goes up. So this is, okay, this is another 10 workers here. They can produce, quite a bit more and price doesn't go up because marginal cost doesn't go up because marginal product doesn't go up. But as they get closer and closer to full employment, now remember, full employment is not 100 workers in the factory if there's 100 spots. Full employment is not 0% unemployment. It's the level of unemployment that's sustainable. That is, you have machines not breaking down, that kind of thing, right? So basically in this factory, probably if full employment is somewhere near 90 workers. Because at any given 95 workers. But as you're moving closer and closer to that, more and more workers, the productivity of the workers goes down. If I want to get steel, I got to wait. I got to be careful I don't, as I said last time, flash somebody with my welder. All this kind of stuff. Organization gets harder. I would produce significantly less in a day if the place is totally full. So productivity goes down for the same wages. Marginal cost goes up. That's 90 people in the factory. 95 people in the factory, it gets worse. So that's roughly, as you get beyond that, it's really hard. If I want to keep the machines are breaking down, because they do, like machines break down. Now you've got to keep those machines running, which is much more expensive, right? And there's a lot more downtime. So marginal product is going down significantly. Marginal cost is going up quickly after full employment. This line right here, if I just move this for a moment, I'll move it back in a minute. Right here is 0% unemployment. 100 people working in that factory. And at that point, it doesn't matter. What orders they get, they can't produce a single thing more. So output is not going to go up. The only thing that can go up is price, right? So at that point, 0% unemployment is just prices straight up, pure inflation. So the cost of firms, the marginal cost of firms is going up, and for society, as you're getting closer and closer to full employment, okay? But not because wages are going up, because they're fixed, because marginal product is falling. Again, this idea of diminishing marginal product, increasing marginal cost is the key. Must understand it. Okay, so now that's very important. So now look here. If I'm here, say, we're originally here, notice here's the price level, here's the output. Demand shift to the right significantly. Output doesn't go up as much as we thought it would. Let me just bring this here, see? I actually shifted demand, aggregate demand went from here to here. Output didn't go up by that much. It went up by almost that much, but prices went up because marginal product fell somewhat. Now I move to the next step, right? I move from, say, we're here, call that the equilibrium, and I move to here. Well now, I thought I was going to get this increase in output, but actually I didn't because marginal cost went up so much because marginal product fell. So here I'm only here. Now the next thing, I'm right here. I want to move from here, like we just did, all the way over to here. I increase aggregate demand. Aggregate demand goes up by this amount because we stimulate it. And look here, we don't get that increase in output. We only get this. But we get a big increase in prices. And if I went from here, say right there, look at that, and there was a huge increase in stimulation, GDP, aggregate demand went up hugely. Notice, we don't get all the way from here. We don't go from here to here because most of it is wasted in the higher prices. People have the money, they rush out to buy it, but prices are way more expensive. Everybody, that's the idea. Short run aggregate supply. Wages are fixed. Okay, now, let's just work on that. So we do this. When I put in short run aggregate supply, as you see, in this case, we say, okay, now that we're going to have an idea here. The idea is, what is the unemployment rate in Canada? Oh, Friday is a special day, isn't it? Oh, good, I like it. That'll be a multiple choice for sure. What is the unemployment rate in Canada right now, by the way? Yeah.
7%?
Yeah, so it's 7%. Now 6% is possibly full employment. 6% is full employment? It's a lot of unemployment for full employment, right? So notice, when you're looking at Y star, their long run aggregate supply, you're looking at 6% unemployment. Suppose, and I'm not denigrating them, supposing the NDP was elected right now in the federal government, they said, hey, wait a minute, we can't have 6% unemployment, this is crazy. We should have 2% unemployment, let's stimulate the economy. So they increase government spending as we see there, and do what we just did. They don't realize, they try to get to here because they think this is full employment, 0% unemployment. What happens is the economy moves forward like that, aggregate demand goes up, people rush out to buy goods, firms can't produce them cheaply, marginal product rises rapidly, and we end up with, notice, this short-run equilibrium. Prices go up kind of significantly, as you notice, but GDP doesn't go up very much at all. There is YS. Right? So notice, first of all, we get more inflation than we get increase. We reduce unemployment somewhat, but maybe from 6 to 4%, not from 6 to 0%. And notice, by the way, this is all we get in a change in GDP, not this. We thought we were going to get this. So now notice, this is a critique of Keynes. Keynes is saying, we need government spending to stimulate the economy, and that's what the NDP would do. But the neoclassical and then the modern guys, monetarists and so on, would say, no. If you try to stimulate the economy, you're not going to get much of a multiplier. You're going to get inflation, not a multiplier, right? So it's not very great. This is not a good idea. Then, now we're going to go into the long run. What happens in the long run, everybody? Relative to the short run. What is the difference between the long run and the short run? Yeah, Erica.
All prices become variable.
All prices are variable. In particular, what price varies? Erica. So the wages go up, right? If wages go up, now think about it. Wages go up. So now it means if the firm could produce this amount of output at this price, they can't anymore. Wages are being pushed up. So I'll just stick it here for the moment. This isn't the final, but I'll just say short run aggregate supply, W1. Right? Wages are going up. I'll call it WS for the moment. It's not finished, but don't write down WS. I'm just showing you this. So wages go up. So notice, it's costing the firms more to produce now. So actually, now first of all, do we know wages go up? How do we know wages go up, Erica? How do you know wages go up? Yeah.
Prices increase for the same marginal cost.
But it's actually simpler than that. How do we know wages go up? Because if we did the wage diagram over here, for example, over here, this is wages. This is the quantity of labor. Quantity of labor, right? This is the wage rate. Why would wages go up, everybody? Why do wages go up here? Why do wages go up? When do wages go up? When you people graduate, when will your wages go up? Will you do better when you graduate and you expect to get, let's say, $50,000 a year, and you get $60,000? Do you know why that's going to happen? Because you were a fantastic person? No, it's not. You're nobody. You're just part of the labor force. I don't care how good you are. Why would your wage go up? Last year they got $50,000, you're getting $60,000. Tell me why. No, not just forget inflation for the moment. Wait, no, it's not because of inflation. You don't care about that. Yeah.
Demand increases.
Quantity demand increases. In particular,
More demand for your work.
huh?
Quantity demand for your work.
What if quantity demand is exactly the same as quantity supply? Would wages go up? If 50,000 students were looking for jobs and there was 50,000 jobs, would wages go up? Would they? I'm just the most practical thing you guys need to know about. I.e., when the time comes and you're in fourth year looking to graduate, think about it. And if they're not going to go up, if they're going to be down, it's a recession, go into graduate school. Don't look for a job. Yeah.
There are not enough workers to fill out all the positions.
Exactly, if there's a shortage. If there's a shortage, right? So we saw if there is a shortage here, look, we're beyond full employment. We're beyond full employment. Here's full employment, right? We're beyond that. We're down here. The quantity demanded here is now here. The quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied. So wages go up, everybody. If there's an overemployment, wages go up. If there's underemployment, wages go down. So there's the mechanism. Everybody? In the short run. If there's overemployment, wages go up in the long run. If there's underemployment, if there's a recession, unemployment, wages go down. So here wages go up. As the wages go up, firms cost more for firms to produce. So you'll notice, by the way, I'll just do this for the moment. In that case, prices will continue to rise and output will further fall. Because, prices are higher. When prices are higher, people can buy less. So what's the next step? We're still in the short run. We're in the long run. We're in the long run right here. I've changed it. We're in the long run right here. What happens now in the long run? Well, what happens? In the long run, wages change. Will wages change? Yes or no? Will they change? Yes or no? At that particular equilibrium I've got right there. The one just above PS. Will they change or not? Is there full employment? No. There's overemployment. So wages will continue to rise. So we'll shift a little bit more to the left. So long as, in the long run, the quantity demanded of workers is greater than the quantity supplied, and full employment, wages will go up, and they will not stop going up. In Alberta, so long as there's a shortage of workers, wages will go up. So when does it stop? When does it stop? It stops here. Stops here. This actually is in the short run. Now this is W1. Finally, wages have stopped. It stops. We're in long run equilibrium because there's no further upward pressure on wages. Why not? Wages don't change here. Why not? Erica?
We're at full employment.
Yeah, we're at full employment. Quantity demanded equals quantity supplied at that point. Right? So therefore, the whole system stops. We're at long run equilibrium. So, here's the criticism. Keynes, as embodied by the NDP. The NDP comes into power, 6% unemployment. They say we're going to stimulate the economy and reduce unemployment down to 0, or whatever they say. Now, this could be 10% unemployment. But the other crew, the neoclassical, sometimes called neoliberal, but neoclassical would be better, say, no. We are near full employment. It's a market economy. If we're not at full employment, it's a structural problem. You can't stimulate our way out of it. The problem is either something wrong with the workers, they don't want to work, or something wrong, they can't find, they don't have the skills for the jobs or whatever it is. If there's unemployment, it's not the market's fault. It's the fault of the workers because they don't want to work. Right? And I just said, I was just saying to another class, not this one, but you guys are going to hear this. Why are so many people unemployed in Spain? Why are so many people unemployed under the age of 25 in the world? Do people not know? What do you think the neoclassical argument is? A failure of the marketplace? No. What is your generation called, by the way? Does it have a name? Are you Generation Y? Huh? What are you guys? You don't even have a name yet? Pitiful. Well, the other thing will be, you know why you guys don't have jobs? Because you can't work hard enough. You're marginal. You want to be paid a wage of $20 an hour, and you can't work hard enough. Right? And that's the way a lot of, I walked in, I was going somewhere last night, I had to be somewhere, I hadn't eaten all day. Person I was with, we had like 20 minutes. Fresh, downtown, was a Fresh at Queen and Richmond and Spadina. So we went there, this person's vegan. We went in there, sat down, I said, now, have you guys gone to Fresh? You know Fresh? It's like a hippie joint from like 40, 30 years ago. You walk in, you pretty well have to grab someone and say, would you please stop and start just going, hi, would you like something? Yeah, like it today, please. You know, like there's just no speed whatsoever. So, but normally I can put up with it. But today I just said, hey, come here, could you please come here? We're in a hurry. I need to be out of here in 15 minutes. Can you just speed it up and we'll get food in 10 minutes? Oh, no. It takes 20 minutes to do the food. We do none of this. Just tell me, can you get this done? No. So I said, here, I'm ordering. It's not here in 10, 15 minutes, I'm gone. Well, I got there in 13 minutes. But the thing is, what I'm saying, this is the younger generation. Productivity, terrible, right? But actually not, and that happens to be Fresh. You know, they can all day, I've got all day when you just traipse around. Is that your friend you're talking to on the phone? That's perfectly cool. I'll just wait here, right? But the point is, that's what's going to be said. If you guys can't get a job, it's because you're not productive enough. You weren't trained enough. You never learned to work hard enough. That's the neoclassical position. I remember one time, it's kind of probably emblematic of you guys anyway, 1980 or something. Remember I grew up in like the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. And when I first went to university, there weren't that many women. They were all dressed like they were going to a ball or something like that. Everybody was kind of formal, that kind of thing. At university, it wasn't kind of, you never saw women in pants, for example, or insofar as at the university, that kind of thing. Okay, so here was at this French party. He was in Ottawa. He was a prof in Ottawa. And he had this party for his students. He was in philosophy. And of course, you wouldn't do this now. You never have a party for students. But in any case, I'm sitting there, just sitting with my back to, I'm overhearing 3 students behind me. First of all, I thought it was a couple of downtown Bay Street, some Bay Street people, a bunch of NDAs, talking about their finances and this and that and everything else, how they're going to do this, how they're going to, like literally I thought, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to see 3-piece suits. This is what I'm going to see, right? Because that was the chatter. It was just that. Totally straight-laced down the middle, this is my investments and this is how I'm going to do it. And they're only students. Right? Turn around, of course, the guys have long hair and all sorts of piercings and this and that. The girl is dressed probably with piercings and everything else. They're smoking dope, And they go, hey guys, don't you get it? You're smoking dope, you're pierced, you've got these ratty clothes on. You're not MBA guys. It isn't your world. What do you think is going to happen in 2 years? You're just going to morph into an MBA type? It's just like a disconnect, right? Of the reality. But I'm telling you, that's what those guys are going to say to you. You're not productive enough. That's what's going to be said, right? And the question is it true or not true? So here, if there's, in the long run, what we're saying is here, the conservative Republican stance would be, no, we're not going to stimulate the economy. The economy is at full employment. Even if these people are unemployed, it's because they're not working hard enough or they're not skilled enough or whatever. And if you stimulate them, if you stimulate the economy, you're not going to get anything. You're temporarily going to get some output increase, but it's going to be temporary. You're going to get some significant inflation. And in the long run, you're going to get nothing. There's going to be exactly the same number of people employed at the end of this stimulation in 2 years as there was today, and we're going to have inflation. That's the classical position. That's the classical position. And notice it's actually, if you're at full employment, it's likely true. If you're at full employment, you think about it. Suppose we do stimulate the economy, it's at full employment, how are we going to produce anything more? We can't in the long run. And what the long run means, I know if I said to you, look, you guys know there's an exam coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that in the 3 or 4 days before the exam, you guys can work 12, 15 hours a day. Yeah, you can. But you're not going to sustain that over a year. There's a kind of capacity that a good student can work at. Maybe it's 8 hours a day, maybe it's 7, maybe it's even 6. But in the long run, a factory doesn't run at 100%. It runs at 92, 89, whatever it is. Just like anybody else. So there is a long run capacity. Temporarily you can go beyond it, but in the long run you're going to fall back. So in the long run, there's going to be no more output and there's only going to be inflation. Keynes is out to lunch. He completely missed the point, right? Good. But of course this depends on the assumption that the economy is at full employment. Now I'm going to switch into equations. Watch. Here. This is AE. I'm giving you AE. And then I'm going to say, short-run aggregate supply is this. Let me see. Let me just work this out. Okay, on this exam, here's what I might give you as a start. This information, everybody. And I'm going to say, assume that the economy is initially in long run equilibrium. Right? So question number 1, find AD. So of course you've done this. There it is. Question number 2, find short run equilibrium Y and S. So not SP. And from this point on, all you're going to do is use stuff you already know. We have so much fun in this final exam if we didn't have to screw around with this multiple choice. Oh my goodness. The questions we could ask. Two marks for AD, 2 marks for this. P and Q, get them both right. Who's got an answer for me? Yes.
That does apply in aggregate demand.
Yeah, but that's not an answer, but you're right. This implies, you're right. This implies, at least you got the right idea. It implies aggregate demand essentially equals short run aggregate supply, everybody? Which implies that 8,000 minus 16p equals 3,680 plus 24p, which of course implies that 40p, or rather p, equals 8,000 minus 2,680 divided by 40, which is equal to 108. Good. And then of course that implies that y, from the aggregate demand side, this should say find AD. It's not AD equals that, by the way. It's y equals that. My mistake there. And this, by the way, oh yeah, it didn't help you. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is y equals that. It should be like this. If you were confused by that, it was my fault. Y equals that, not short run aggregate supply. Y equals that. That is short run aggregate supply. And aggregate demand is y equals that. So the two y's are equal. You just plug that in. So y is 8,000 minus 16 times 108. What is that? 5, what is it over?
6,272.
6,272? And that's correct if 3,680 plus 24p times 24 times 108 is the same number, is it? Good.